Hello everyone, CB-90 class fast assault craft, Stridsbat 90H, ALF, STRB 90H, CB-90, is a class of fast military assault craft used by several countries after being originally developed for the Swedish Navy by Dokstavarbet. Its name means combat boat 90 half, the 90 refers to the year of acceptance, 1990, and half refers to the fact that it can carry and deploy a half platoon of amphibious infantry, 18 men, fully equipped. The CB-90 is an exceptionally fast and agile boat that can execute extremely sharp turns at high speed. Decelerate from top speed to a full stop in 2.5 boat lengths, and adjust both its pitch and roll angle while underway. Its lightweight, shallow draft, and twin water jets allow it to operate at speeds of up to 40 knots, 74 km per hour, in shallow coastal waters. The water jets are partially ducked, which, along with underwater control surfaces similar to a submarine's diving planes, gives the CB-90 its maneuverability, in addition to the many variants in service with the Swedish Navy under the Stridsbat 90H designation. The CB-90 has been adopted by the navies of Norway, as the S-90N, Greece, Mexico, as the CB-90HMN, the United States, as the Riverine Command Boat, and Malaysia. Development and adoption history. In 1988, Dokstavarbet won a competition to design and manufacture a replacement for the aging TPBS 200 class. Two prototypes, with pennant number 801 and 802, were delivered in 1989. After completion of field trials, the Swedish Navy signed a purchase order for 120 boats in June 1990. In 2002, the Swedish Navy ordered an additional 27 boats of a slightly different type, designated Stridsbat 90HS, where S refers to SKYDD, protected, 2, as the STRB 90HS is armored and features CBRN protection. The whole boat can be overpressurized, intended for use in international peacekeeping operations. Apart from the addition of armor, it sports air conditioning for deployment in tropical conditions, fuel cooling system, 230V generator and more powerful engines. The manufacturer sometimes refers to the model as the CB-90HI, where the I probably stands for international. Several of the tasks carried out by the STRB-90H variants were originally intended for the STRB-90E, which is now almost completely phased out. The Royal Norwegian Navy evaluated the STRB-90H in early 1996, and subsequently purchased a total of 20 boats. Designated 90N, for Norskutgave, literally Norwegian version, the Mexican Navy acquired 40 units, designated CB-90HMN, between 1999 and 2001, and obtained a production license in 2002, allowing further units to be manufactured in Mexico. Since then 8 additional units have been built. The German water police rented a combat boat 90H from the manufacturer Dokstavarbet for the 33rd G8 summit in Heiligendamm, Germany. This boat was involved in a high-speed chase with 3 Greenpeace ribs which were trying to enter the restricted area near the hotel where the meeting was being held. A video clip of the incident was later widely spread around the internet. In July 2007, the United States Navy Expeditionary Combat Command, NECC, specified the CB-90 for testing as its Riverine Command Boat. Safe Boats International of Bremerton, Washington, was given a $2.8 million contract to produce one prototype. The CB-90 was subsequently adopted, and 2 were involved in an incident with Iran in 2016. In June 2009, an unknown buyer from Abu Dhabi bought 2 civilian luxury versions. In 2010, Dokstavarbet Shipyard modified 2 CB-90s to be carried in the davits of Dutch and UK Navy landing platform docks. During these 6 months trials, the 2 boats and a full Swedish boat squadron were embarked on a Royal Netherlands Navy LPD as a fully integrated element of the amphibious forces aboard and successfully deployed. In 2013, JSC Pella Shipyard near St. Petersburg launched the first Russian-built Raptor-class patrol boat Raptor. But while the ships are strikingly similar, there is no indication Dokstavarbet has been involved or licensed the design to Pella. Versions. Several STRB-90H have been converted by the Swedish Navy to fill various roles. The STRB-90L is outfitted for battalion-level command and control, with computer and communications equipment and an auxiliary generator to provide electrical power when the engines are not running. The L stands for leadening, command or leadership. The STRB-90 Compal is a plain STRB-90H in which portable computer and communications equipment has been installed, allowing it to temporarily provide company-level command and control. Electrical power is provided by a rather loud portable generator installed on deck. The STRB-90HS is designed for overseas peacekeeping and rescue operations. It is modified to keep its crew comfortable in Mediterranean conditions, with air conditioning, an auxiliary generator, a head, and more comfortable crew stations. More importantly, it is armored, and its engines have been upgraded to compensate for the added weight. At least one STRB-90H, pennant number 802, is equipped with a decompression chamber. The Swedish police operate one unarmed STRB-90H equipped with bunks, a pantry, and a crew lounge. The Swedish Sea Rescue Society operates two unarmed STRB-90HS converted for search and rescue. Hellenic Coast Guard operate also since 1998 three CB-90 under the CB-90HCG, which is a slightly different version of the Norwegian Navy version. Norwegian version, the Royal Norwegian Navy operates 20 CB-90S under the designation SB-90N, the N simply stands for Norskutgave, Norwegian version. The S-90N differs from the STRB-90H in a few areas. It is armed with two M2 Browning heavy machine guns, port and starboard, and a sea protector remote-controlled weapons station. 7. The anchor winch is motorized, and the anchor is mounted at the stern, allowing a grounded S-90N to tow itself afloat rather than risk damage to its impellers. It carries an auxiliary generator which provides electrical power to navigation and communications systems even when the engines are not running. The troop compartment has a higher deck height, making it possible for most people to stand without crouching. It has two watertight compartments in the bow, having an extra room for toilet and stores. It has a much more sophisticated navigation equipment based on GPS technology delivered by Kongsberg Seatex AS-8. At least one S-90N has been reconfigured into a floating ambulance. 9. In 2004, the Royal Norwegian Navy conducted tests, including a live-fire exercise, to evaluate the effectiveness of the SB-90N as an aiming and launching platform for the Hellfire missile. One SB-90N was equipped with stabilized Hellfire launcher based on the Protector, RWS, and its machine gun was replaced with a gimbal-mounted sensor package containing visible light and infrared cameras and a laser designator. Although the tests were successful, there is currently no indication that the Royal Norwegian Navy will actually deploy SB-90Ns armed with Hellfire missiles in regular service. The Hellfire can still be carried on the boats without launching platforms and be fired from shore with the portable ground launch system. The CB-90S are used by the Coastal Ranger Commando. Incidents and accidents involving CB-90S. In mid-1999, one CB-90, number 820, belonging to the Swedish Karlskrona Coastal Artillery Regiment, KA-2, crashed into a concrete pier at approximately 30 knots, 56 km per hour. There were 8 soldiers on board, 7 of them sustained more or less severe injuries, including fractures, while one soldier who was standing in the machine gun ring mount on mid-deck remained physically unhurt. On June 13, 2004, several STRB-90H from the Swedish 1st Marine Regiment, AMF-1, were sailing at high speed in convoy formation when one of them abruptly reduced speed, allegedly so its wake would not upset a smaller sailboat. The boat immediately behind it failed to react and rammed it. 2 soldiers who were above deck at the time of the accident were hit and thrown in the water. Both were killed almost instantly. On the night of October 23, 2006, a CB-90 sank off of Hamnudden, east of Udo in the Stockholm archipelago. The boat was traveling at 11 knots, 20 km per hour, due to the bad weather when it suddenly began to take on water from the bow. It then sank in less than 10 minutes. All of the crew of 16 were quickly picked up by other ships that were nearby. No one was physically injured, but the crew suffered from shock and hypothermia when picked up. On October 5, 2014, a Royal Malaysian Navy CB-90 bearing registration number CB-204 was reported lost at sea due to storm and high tides. There were 7 crewmen on board. The boat was last detected at 1:05 p.m. some 57 nautical miles off Labuan Island. The boat was found on October 6 near Station Lima, after its distress call was heard by KD Paus, a Geron-class gunboat, with no injuries to all 7 crew. It was reportedly caused by engine and steering problems. On January 12, 2016, 2 U.S. Navy Riverine Command boats were taken into custody by Iran's Revolutionary Guards Navy near Farsi Island in Persian Gulf. An Iranian state-run news outlet reported that 10 U.S. sailors had been arrested, even though Iranian and U.S. officials said that none of the sailors were harmed and that they would be released promptly. Officials have stated that one of the boats broke down very close to Iranian territorial waters, and after drifting for a short time both were picked up by Iranian forces. 10. According to Stars and Stripes newspaper, the crews were released a short time later.
Have a meter? I'll cook 2 more, and then I'll call it a day. Yeah, that's the treat. Put your feet out, man. Like you're sitting in